The approximately 2,000-year-old Pantheon faces Piazza della Rotonda, a big crowded square with many restaurants and cafeterias around it, where most of the locals and tourists sit outside and watch time go by, admiring the stunning view of the Pantheon. In the middle of this charming square, you can see a beautiful 18th century fountain, which has an obelisk in the center part and surrounded by mystic, devilish-looking statues of faces. Right in front of the Pantheon, you can find horse carriages, which will take you around the center part of Rome against a fee. The name Pantheon is combining the two Greek words, pan and theos, which means all gods. In the ancient times, during the Roman Empire, the Pantheon was a temple dedicated to all gods. The famous Michelangelo declared that this masterpiece looks more like the work of angels and not humans. In fact, the Pantheon is one of the most mysterious buildings of all times. In front of the Pantheon, you can see 3 rows of columns. The first row has 8 columns, and the second and third row have 4 columns. The columns that weigh 60 tons were brought from Egypt with vessels. The entrance door to the Pantheon is a huge bronze one, which is 7 meters high. Before, it was plated with gold. For those days, like in our days now, it was something very impressive. The most phenomenal part of the whole construction is the dome. It used to be the largest dome in the world until 1436, when the Florence Cathedral was constructed. The dome is almost 44 meters high. At the top you can see a small hole where the light can come through, the oculus. The oculus has a diameter of almost 8 meters. Inside the Pantheon, you can see 7 large niches between 2 Corinthian columns. In those niches, they had statues which they used to embody the 7 gods. Those days, the gods were represented by the planets, the Sun, the Moon, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury, and Mars. The floors are graceful to look at and made out of the finest Mediterranean marble. Everything you see is still the original way it was kept, except, of course, a few statues and altars less. After, the Pantheon was used as a tomb place for Italian kings. The famous artist Raphael and his fiancée holds his tomb in the Pantheon as well. The best time to visit is around noon, so you can see the sunbeams shining through the oculus.